and we will go ahead and get started with Sean Clifford. Mark Brennan.
Hey, Sean, how you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good, I appreciate you joining us. What's your level of comfort and confidence with this offense heading into the opener, and how excited are you to kind of, put this new thing to work?
Yeah, I think that, my level of confidence only grows day in, day out. I would say that obviously without spring ball and summer ball, with Coach Straka being there one-on-one, I was a little bit nervous to see how it'd go, but I think that, this fall camp, well, since we've honestly had two kind of fall camps, with the first one and then we got canceled and then now coming back, I feel extremely confident, ready to go. I think that, a lot of the guys on the offense would agree with me. And yeah, I think, but, we're still just taking it one day at a time, because we know that there's still meat on the bone, just the inches to be grabbed today, tomorrow, Friday, all those days before the game. So,
Rich Scarcella. Go ahead, Rich.
Okay, thank you. Hey, Sean, thanks for your time. Sean, can you describe to us the difference that you're seeing in the offensive line now than you did a year ago?
Yeah. I would say that the offensive line currently is a much more mature group. Not saying that they weren't mature last year, but I think that, with guys returning, Menet, Rashid, Will Fries, CJ Thorpe, Mike Miranda, we just have a lot. Des Holmes, who's going to step up and have a big role. I think that, there's a lot of guys who just have taken another year and they've taken another step. And I think that Coach Troutwine has also done a very good job of bringing new concepts, new ideas to the table from Boston College, and with him being a player as well in the past, I think that just that whole combination has been extremely good for our offensive line, and it reassures me and allows me to have a ton of confidence in them going into game one.
Paul Gable. Paul.
John, thanks for the time. The other day when he was meeting with the media, Indiana defensive coordinator Kane Womack spoke very highly about you and said that your ability to run the football really created a lot of issues for them last season. When you look at Indiana, and granted it's only limited film, but what stands out to you about their defense?
Yeah, I think that they have a very mature defense. I think that like we said, our up front, we're mature offensively. We've got a new system, but we feel good about it. But they have a bunch of returning starters. They have 8. I want to say 8 returning starters. Might be 9, but 8 returning starters for sure. Guys across the field that can just make plays. Wreak havoc, as we say sometimes, and they got game changers. So we've prepared for them. We've watched a lot of tape. We've had that extra kind of week last week, some bonus days just to prepare for them. So I feel fully confident going into the game. But this is a very good Indiana team, and we know we can't. We can't take any team on our schedule lightly, but this team has proven that they are on the rise, and definitely somebody who we can't take lightly.
Mark Wogenrich. Go ahead, Mark.
I can't hear him if he's talking. I don't know where he is though.
Yeah, we'll move on. Tyler Donahue.
Hey, good morning, Sean. Thanks for the time today.
I appreciate it.
A couple things that jumped off with the depth chart that we saw yesterday with Parker Washington as a starting receiver. Coach Franklin said that he earned the trust of the quarterback unit, and that was an important part of the process. And then Brenton Strange getting that number 2 job to begin the season behind Pat. Can you talk about, from your perspective, what you see in both those players in the passing game and how they got to those roles?
Yeah. Parker was a guy who jumped out early. To me, honestly, from his high school film. I don't really watch a lot of the players coming in. I just, you learn through watching when they get here. But I remember Coach Parker from last year. I'm sure people remember him. He told me, one guy you got to look for is Parker Washington. He's got a lot of talent, and I think that he's going to be able to help us next year. So I looked into him and I was like, all right, yeah, this guy's got all the tools. And the minute that he stepped on campus, he got in contact with me and the older guys and has been very, very receptive of what we've been saying, taking a bunch of criticism, taking notes constantly, asking questions, just everything that you want in a young receiver. So Parker's definitely deserved that role, and I'm extremely confident in Parker to make the plays that he needs to coming up this weekend. And then same with Brenton. I think that he's older now, a little bit more of a vet, and he's come along a lot in his blocking, in his route running, in his ability to catch the football. So I think that, Brenton is another guy who I'm extremely excited about. Obviously we have an All-American in Pat, and I'm not going to sugarcoat that at all, that I'm excited to have Pat back. But at the same time, I think that, Brenton is coming along rapidly. And I think Pat would agree that, a lot of us are very excited to see what Brenton can do this year.
Pat Principi. Pat.
I'm unmuted now. You got me, Sean?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Hey, thanks for joining us. Like the GOAT. You've inspired me to bring mine. You've inspired me to bring mine back now. Good job.
Yes, sir. Hey, it's goatee season.
That's right. Exactly. It's always goatee season, buddy. Hey, you talked earlier a little bit about not having the spring, not having some of the summer to get this new offense in. I kind of compared it earlier to buying a new car without getting a chance to test drive it. Are you confident about being able to hit the ground running in live action, or do you think it's going to take a little adjusting when you get on the field there on Saturday?
No, I think that it's going to be completely fine. I'm a big believer in taking mental reps and, kind of visualization as a key driving force in my performance on a Saturday. And I've grown dramatically in this, in that field. And for me, I've taken more reps now mentally than I've probably have in my whole life, especially for this game. And I still have 3 days. So I'm fully prepared to hit the ground running. And I know this offense is also fully prepared to hit the ground running. So no, I don't see a hiccup coming. I don't see anything like that. I think that obviously, the pads I'm going to get hit for the first time in a while. So that, my body might, wake up quickly, but at the same time, mentally, no, I think that we're going to be fully prepared.
Johnny Collins.
Hey, Sean, you got me?
Yep.
Okay. The 2 running backs we're going to have to step up while Journey's sidelined. Devin Ford, how has he improved from last season, and how excited are you guys about Keziah Holmes?
Yeah. First, I'd like to address this Journey real quick and how great he's been. Journey's one of my best friends, and to see what happened was obviously heartbreaking. But at the same time, Journey being Journey, he's reassured the whole team that he's not only going to be here, but he's going to be with us through it all, no matter what's going on. And that's just how Journey is, and it speaks on his character and what type of player he is. So that's why I just have to say something real quick about him and how great he's been with the guys, with the coaches, and that's why he's just the true definition of an ultimate teammate. But to speak on Devin and Noah, Devin and Noah showed a lot of promise last year. I know people were very excited about them as they were with Journey. And, I have a lot of confidence in not only their running ability, but their route running both of them have made significant strides in that area. I think that also something that people don't look into a lot, at least because it's not the eye candy that people like, but they've both taken a big step in pass protection as well. And that's something I can appreciate, checking and getting out. So I think that, they're both poised to have very good seasons.
Tobias Wilborn.
Sean, the United logo, as you see it, as you look at it, what does it mean to you, and how does it make you feel that you guys are gonna be wearing that, and what does it represent overall?
Yeah. It makes me very proud to be able to put something like that on my chest. A lot of guys have felt a lot of pain. There's been a lot of question marks this year in 2020, and a lot of discussions to be raised. But one is definitely the social injustice. I've felt it. It's made me very angry, as with many of my teammates. So to be able to put that on my chest and wear it with pride is something that I feel, is very special. And I won't take it for granted at all. To be able to not only represent myself, but my family and my friends and my teammates in that type of way. And what Coach Franklin and what Penn State put out on the social injustice, I think that, there's obviously long ways to go on that, but at the same time, it's nice to be able to wear something on your chest and have it mean something than just have that mean something more than just, myself.
Can I follow real quick?
I don't care.
Does it also mean something extra to you as a white player sticking up for Black teammates in that way? Is there like a responsibility in that in some cases?
For me, I've never really, and I've been blessed in this way, and I tell people this a lot, especially with this topic, because as a white player, for me, I've been in a locker room pretty much my whole life. So white, Black, Asian, it doesn't really matter. Like, skin color has never mattered to me, and in ways that people try to portray it. So for me, everybody has been the same. If you're in my locker room and you're on my team, then you're my brother in some sort of way, because we have shared sacrifice. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter, what background you have, who your parents were. For me, it's, we're all playing for the same team. And right now we're currently just playing for the Penn State. And, the I don't even know how to put it in words. The honor that has to be able to play with guys like Shaka Toney, like Mike Mennett, like Journey Brown, and like Tariq Castro Fields. The list goes on, and guys that if I didn't have sports in my life, I would never meet them. Highly doubt I'd ever cross paths with them. But because football is such a great game, and Coach Franklin has recruited such a great group of guys, I've gotten to meet some of my best friends in the whole world. So, color of skin has never been something that I've looked at. And I really have to thank, football for that. But at the same time, I think that I know a lot of people talk about it. I think that the world can also, take some knowledge from college athletes and professional athletes and the whole locker room concept, because we're just one big team out here trying to make it through life. So I think that I just have to thank my coaches and my family for putting me in that position to kind of give me that perspective.
This will be the final question for Sean. Joe Giuliano.
Hey, Sean. You've been in the Happy Valley bubble now for a couple of months, and you're going to be going on the road for the first time. How confident are you that you guys can make this work, and how much of a challenge is it to go on the road and try to stick with what you've been doing for the last couple of months?
Right. I wouldn't say that it's definitely a challenge. I'm not going to take it lightly. There's a global pandemic going on, so I can't, downplay that in the slightest. But at the same time, I think that Coach Franklin and the staff, especially the athletic trainers, Andy Mutnam leading that way, has been nothing but great, reassured us on every topic. If we've had any problems whatsoever, they've been the first to get in contact with us. If we have a problem, we address it directly to Coach Franklin. And, right, wrong, or indifferent, he's going to do whatever he can to make us feel as safe as possible. So, now we have to take another hurdle and go to another state. We've, like you said, we've kind of been in this state college bubble. So it will be a little bit different. But at the same time, I have full confidence that, how our staff has been handling it, they're going to keep us safe. And be able to play the game that we love. And again, because it's the last question, I'm just, extremely excited to be able to put on the blue and white yet again, especially for, although people won't be able to watch it in person, I'm just very, very proud to be able to wear it and, have all these people at home, hopefully proud as well.
Everyone, thank you for being here. Sean, thank you for being available for the media.
Appreciate it, everybody.